What if we're not alone? What if the answers to life beyond Earth lie in planets we've already explored, but still don't fully understand? Are we closer than we think to discovering alien life? Since the dawn of the space race, humans have been driven by an insatiable curiosity about the cosmos. The Cold War rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union may have sparked the initial rush into space, but beneath the politics and the race for dominance lay a deeper, more profound question: are we alone in the universe? The fascination with space has always been about more than just reaching new frontiers. It's about seeking answers to the biggest mysteries of existence. Today, that same drive has evolved, no longer just about exploration but about the search for life beyond our planet. This quest isn't merely about looking at distant worlds through telescopes, it's about understanding where we come from, and how we fit into the vast tapestry of the universe. As Nathalie Cabrol, the director of the Carl Sagan Center for Research at the SETI Institute, puts it, the universe is both an enigmatic puzzle and a profound mirror reflecting our own existence. The early space race was about proving human capability, but now, it's about proving the existence of something far more extraordinary: life beyond Earth. Cabrol's perspective brings a fresh lens to the modern space race. While the original space race was a competition of superpowers, today's race is global, scientific, and deeply philosophical. It's not just about technology and science, it's about understanding life itself, both here on Earth and potentially out there in the stars. In her recent book The Secret Life of the Universe, Cabrol explores the idea that the same materials that make up life on Earth are present across the cosmos. The very elements that created you and me are not unique, they are everywhere, scattered across the universe, waiting to come together in the right environment to spark life. This realization brings us closer than ever to answering the question: are we truly alone? This modern space race isn't just about who gets to Mars first. It's about understanding whether life can exist there, or anywhere else. And in searching for that life, we are not only uncovering the mysteries of the cosmos but also reflecting on the nature of our existence here on Earth. As space exploration evolved from national rivalry to scientific endeavor, a new field began to take shape: astrobiology. This multidisciplinary science focuses on one of humanity's most enduring questions: how does life begin, and can it exist elsewhere in the universe? The search for life beyond Earth is not a recent obsession. It has its roots in early missions like NASA's Viking program, which sought to detect signs of life on Mars in the 1970s. The Viking labeled Release (LR) experiment, a key part of that mission, sent robotic landers to Mars with the specific goal of finding evidence of microbial life. While the experiment initially returned results that some considered promising, the scientific community was left divided. Even today, as Nathalie Cabrol points out, the data remain inconclusive. Some believe that Viking detected life, while others argue the results were simply due to natural chemical reactions in the Martian soil. 50 years later, we are still debating: did Viking find life, or was it a false alarm? Despite these inconclusive findings, Viking laid the groundwork for future exploration. It showed us that the question of life on Mars is more complex than we thought. In fact, as Cabrol explains, the search for extraterrestrial life is not just about finding a yes or no answer. It's about understanding the relationship between life and its environment, something she refers to as coevolution. This means that life, if it exists, isn't something isolated. It interacts with its surroundings, changes them, and is changed by them in return. The birth of astrobiology. This idea of coevolution is at the heart of astrobiology. As missions to Mars, Europa, and other celestial bodies ramped up in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, scientists began to look not only for signs of life but also for the conditions that make life possible. This was a major shift in how we think about life in the universe. It's no longer enough to simply find water or organic molecules. We must also understand the environment in which life could thrive. Major discoveries and breakthroughs. Some of the most exciting discoveries in recent years have been about the building blocks of life. Missions like the Kepler Space Telescope revealed thousands of exoplanets, worlds beyond our solar system. Many of these planets exist in the so-called habitable zone, where conditions could allow liquid water, and potentially life, to exist. The revelation that there are so many potentially habitable planets out there has reignited the dream of finding extraterrestrial life. Closer to home, NASA's Perseverance rover is currently exploring Mars, drilling into rocks and collecting samples that could one day answer the question Viking left open: was there ever life on Mars? Perseverance is equipped with advanced instruments designed to detect signs of ancient life, and its mission represents the culmination of decades of astrobiological research. Challenges in the search for life. Despite all these advancements, the search for extraterrestrial life remains full of challenges. Life is fragile, and detecting it from millions of miles away is difficult. Even on Earth, life exists in extreme environments, places like the deep ocean, volcanic vents, and Antarctica, where it thrives in ways that were once thought impossible. Could life survive in similarly harsh conditions on other planets? That's what today's astrobiologists are trying to figure out. As Cabrol suggests, we may not be approaching the search in the right way. The focus so far has been on finding life that resembles Earth's. But what if extraterrestrial life doesn't follow the same rules? What if it's based on completely different chemistry, in environments we've never imagined as life-supporting? This is why astrobiology continues to evolve, questioning assumptions and expanding its horizons. Mars has long been at the center of humanity's quest to find extraterrestrial life. It's our closest neighbor with Earth-like conditions, and for decades, scientists have speculated about its potential to harbor life. Nathalie Cabrol, in her work, lays out 3 scenarios for Mars that highlight the complexity and significance of this search. Scenario 1: no life ever existed on Mars. The first possibility is that Mars never developed life. If this is the case, proving it will be incredibly difficult. In science, demonstrating the absence of something is much harder than proving its presence. If life never existed on Mars, we would have to conduct extensive research to confidently conclude that no biological processes ever occurred there. This would be a sobering realization but also valuable, as it would reshape our understanding of planetary environments and the conditions needed for life. Scenario 2: Earth and Mars shared life. The second scenario suggests that Mars might have had life, but it originated from Earth, or vice versa. Given that Mars and Earth have exchanged material through meteor impacts, it's possible that life could have traveled between the planets. This would mean that if we find life on Mars, it might not be truly alien but a relative of Earth's biology. While fascinating, this discovery wouldn't help us much in understanding the broader possibilities for life in the universe, since it would only confirm that life can spread between similar planets. Scenario 3: independent genesis of life on Mars. The most intriguing scenario is that life on Mars represents a separate genesis, meaning life developed there independently from Earth. This would be groundbreaking, as it would show that life can emerge in more than one place in the universe. A separate genesis would suggest that life is not unique to Earth but a common phenomenon that can occur wherever conditions are right. This discovery would revolutionize our approach to searching for life elsewhere and fuel the notion that the universe is teeming with life. Mars is a learning tool for other worlds. Regardless of which scenario turns out to be true, Mars offers a crucial template for the search for life elsewhere. Its proximity and similarity to Earth make it an ideal testing ground for our hypotheses about life's origins. But, as Cabrol argues, Mars may not provide all the answers. While it can teach us general rules about the relationship between life and environment, it may not help us as much when searching for life on vastly different worlds, like Titan or Venus. Beyond Mars, the search continues. Mars is just the beginning. As we continue to explore other celestial bodies like the icy moons Europa and Enceladus, or the methane-rich atmosphere of Titan, each of these worlds offers a unique environment that could host life, but vastly different from what we know. The question becomes, how do we adapt our search techniques for these extreme environments? What lessons from Mars can we apply, and where do we need to innovate? Life beyond Earth is life beyond understanding. Ultimately, Cabrol emphasizes that our search must remain flexible. Life may not resemble anything we know. It may not be carbon-based, or it may thrive in conditions that we would consider inhospitable. As we explore more of the universe, we must also expand our definition of life itself. Mars is our laboratory, but the future of astrobiology lies in the ability to imagine life in forms and places we have yet to conceive. The modern space race has shifted dramatically from the Cold War era, where the competition was primarily between superpowers. Today, a mix of government space agencies and private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are leading the charge. This new era is not just about prestige but also about advancing science, exploring new frontiers, and potentially finding life beyond Earth. Private companies and space exploration. In the past decade, private companies have transformed space exploration. SpaceX, for example, has not only revolutionized space travel with reusable rockets but also has ambitious plans to colonize Mars. While governments still fund massive space projects, these private firms are making space more accessible and pushing the boundaries of exploration faster than ever before. How this affects the search for life. These new developments directly impact the search for life. Missions like NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the Moon, are paving the way for long-term lunar bases. These could serve as launch pads for missions to Mars, significantly increasing our ability to search for signs of past or present life on the red planet. With private companies involved, missions are becoming more frequent and the technology is advancing rapidly. The James Webb Space Telescope, developed with public and private partnerships, is one example of how these collaborations are producing powerful tools to search for biosignatures on distant exoplanets, potential indicators of life. Political and global cooperation. Interestingly, the new space race also fosters global cooperation. While countries like the US, China, and Russia still compete, there are more collaborative efforts in space today than during the original space race. The International Space Station, ISS, is a prime example of how nations can work together to achieve scientific breakthroughs. Future missions to Mars and beyond may require similar partnerships, as the scale and cost of these endeavors are immense. Space as a geopolitical stage. However, space remains a geopolitical stage. Nations still view space dominance as a matter of national security and prestige. As private companies take a more significant role, governments are still deeply involved in space policy, shaping the future of exploration. The question is, will space become a domain of cooperation, or will the race for new resources and discoveries reignite old rivalries? Nathalie Cabrol's optimism about finding extraterrestrial life is clear. We are close. With the rapid advancement of technology and our deepening understanding of the cosmos, it feels like we are on the brink of a breakthrough. The discovery of thousands of exoplanets, missions like Perseverance on Mars, and the power of the James Webb Space Telescope all point to a future where detecting life may soon become reality. However, Cabrol reminds us that this search is not just about looking outward, it's about reflecting on what life means for us here on Earth. As we explore distant planets, we're also exploring the nature of existence itself. The search for life beyond Earth is not only a scientific endeavor but a journey to understand our own place in the universe. As we push further into space, we must ask ourselves, what will discovering life elsewhere teach us about how we value life on our own planet? Follow the latest missions, stay curious, and remember, every new discovery in space brings us closer to understanding the mysteries of life itself.